speaker is Jane Bingham Shee, and Jane is a junior certificate school programme librarian that Fionnuala mentioned that scheme earlier on today. She's based here in Limerick at St. Nessans Community College. She has been working for the JCSP demonstration library project for 9 years and has previously set up and ran junior certificate libraries in Mount Carmel Secondary School in Dublin and St. Enda's Community School in Limerick. She has also experience working in Trinity College Library and the Corporate Library in AIB, and she has a degree in Classical Civilizations from NUIG and a HTIP in Library and Information Studies from UCD. Thank you, Jane.
Okay, thank you so much.
And it's this one here.
Great.
If I could you
Okay. Right. Thanks so much. To say thank you very much, and it's an honour to be here today. I've gotten some fantastic ideas already in this morning's sessions, and just there about the sensory storybooks. So I'm really excited, to be going back to my own library with some brilliant ideas for the future. And we meet every Wednesday in the library for a chat about books, and then we have coffee afterwards. And then on the right, then at Christmas time, then we go out and we have a lunch out to celebrate. They're some of my students' book club favourite books. They're the ones that they voted on and said they really enjoyed last year. So again, we're always promoting the library and trying to get the community excited about it. We had the library extended and revamped for the JCSP library launch. So we had a big extension, and I was covered in dust for about 2 months, but at the end it was lovely, well worth it. So, to celebrate, we invited the Minister for Education to come in to launch our library. So she came in, and that's how they're cutting the ribbon, and we were delighted to have her. And, the students as well, they were heavily involved in the launch. The students were the ones who invited everybody into the library and spoke to them. So it was very much focused on them. There's, the JCSP First Year Awards, the Best Reader category. So, I'll look at my stats for my library system, and I'll see who's been, doing the most, reading, and especially, and also, students, who are, always borrowing and enthusiastic about reading, they get awards. This is my best first-year borrower. So, I try to get storytellers to come into the library several times a year. Yeah, just to because it's an old-fashioned kind of a thing. With students, everybody loves listening to a good story, and it's still going. And a lot of these storytellers would also have books, so I get them to come in and tell stories to the students. And then afterwards, I'll buy some of the storytellers' books if I don't have them already, and we'll read some of the books as class sets, or I'll read the stories aloud, or the students will borrow them. Also, I try to just remind kids it's not just about English, that we can read about reading affects every subject, and I'm always telling them the more you read, the cleverer you're going to get, and the better you're going to do in your junior cert and then in your leaving cert afterwards. So in Science Week, we were promoting all the science books. They have ones that they could read for pleasure, the exciting fact science ones. And we also got this guy, Dr. Barry Fitzgerald. He has a really interesting book called Superhero Science, and he gives a presentation about how superheroes science applies in the real world. He'll say, okay, this guy has I can't remember the name of the superhero science guy who couldn't his impenetrable skin, and then he'll talk about how people are making armor impenetrable and that kind of thing. So that was very interesting. And then I bought some of his books for the library, and all the students were borrowing them, and they were all really excited, and they were all going to become scientists. So it's great. Another guy who comes into it a lot is Leon Anderson. He has a program called Class Magic, and this is good for both literacy and numeracy, so it's cross-curricular. And he teaches the students how to do magic tricks. And part of the magic tricks is that the students have to write a little story about that goes with some of the tricks. So that's a really good way of getting the students writing as well, and it's good for their oral literacy skills as well, because they have to learn off what they're going to say, and they have to get up and they have to present their tricks at the end. We also had the students building robots. We did robot workshops, and this again was cross-curricular because there was maths and there was engineering and English, because they had to read all the instructions, and then they had to do all the programming as well themselves, and then they got little robots going around a track in the room. DEAR, which is Drop Everything Read, is a really big part of our school, and it's a good way of getting like the whole school involved in reading. It just shows the importance of it. So what we do is we pick a certain time of the day, and I'll go on the intercom and sorry, and I'll tell them, okay, drop everything and read, and they all start and they'll read for a class. We celebrate World Book Day. Everyone got a copy of One Good Turn by Brian Gallagher to take home, and that was if you contact World Book Day Ireland, they'll give you vouchers, and we use the vouchers to buy the books for the students, and we handed them out to them to read. Did a readathon. I'm just going to fly through these. So we did a readathon in the library with the transition years. Got more storytellers, Eddie Lenihan, and he did the Reading Challenge Awards for us. We do for literature, we do Christmas literature-based table quiz for the first years and mentors. So that's fun. We do poetry workshops. This one we did with Steve Murray. We have done rap ones as well in the past. And then we take part in the rap round, which is a big celebration of all the students' poetry and rap, which is on in UCC. So we linked up with Poetry Ireland for that, which is fantastic. They're great people to work with. We also got them reading French. We got lots of French books into the library. I did those class sets. And we also got a French theatre group to do French plays. So the students had to read the French plays and they just take part in French theatre. And got them writing French Valentine's cards also. We take part in a lot of writing competitions, anything that's going. I'm always looking online to see what writing competitions are on, and I encourage the students. So that was a haiku one we did with the students, and we were happy to have one of the winners, JCSP student, so we celebrated that in the school with his parents in class. Did the Make a Book initiative, that's a JCSP one, and students took part in that. They wrote books for their younger siblings, and then they invited the siblings into the library to read with their parents. I like bringing them to a matinees to have a look around and buy books. Local writer, Gemma Maudsley, she's from Limerick, so it's great to have local writers that you can relate to the students, and she donated some of her books to us. Miles Green did a drama workshop, so they got students writing their own plays and performing them. This is our red wall where students put up book reviews. We just decorated there for Proclamation Day. We got students to write this year a book of 50-word stories. That was an outreach project for all Limerick JCSB students, so it was all schools across Limerick took part in this, and in the end it was published in a book, and we launched it here. It's called Mini Saga Superstars. That was the big launch. This is the national Drop Everything and Read that was done across all, it was open to everybody in Ireland this year. It's organised by JCSP, it's a great thing to do. And finally, I suppose promoting reading. We tried to make reading seem as cool as possible, so we had a local boy band, this boy band from Dublin were in the school doing a talk, so I got them all to pose in the library with the books, to show them that boy band members read books. So we've got, we also celebrate Seach na Gaeilge. Mayor Leilish, he reads in Irish and English. He did a really good cross-curricular storytelling session with them, and the kids are all reading his books afterwards. They poster competitions, so again, writing in Irish. And finished it up with doing a staff and student cookery book, where the student and staff wrote their favourite recipes out. And it's a good way of showing, just interacting with the students and having staff and students involved in something. Like last year, we did a poetry competition, and the staff and students read their poems over the intercom. So, and we celebrated, then we were delighted to win the Well-Read National Award at the end of the year. So to sum up, always promote reading and writing, support reading and writing, and celebrate and have fun. So, thank you.
Thanks, Jane. It's amazing how comfortable it can get when you get into your flow here. So anyone who's got a great idea for next year, pitch us and we'll put you in the lineup for our seminar.